Okay, I want to document a couple of trades that I took this morning. Um, it is amazing how the mind switches into a condition where the mind thinks that I'm doing the right thing, but the results are saying something different. And so what the results were telling me is that I need to fall back on the things that works instead of trying to force things into the market. So a couple of things that occurred, like going for the home runs and then being lazy and then trying to make the market fit into my own thinking. That's never a good idea. Okay, so it has been proven in the past. So here's a couple of trades that I took. All right. So there has been a significant, in the past few days, there has been a significant downtrend and uptrend. Uh, and so there was a significant amount of trending that occurred. Um, and it seems to be uh, based on a couple of factors. The the global tension with Iran and Israel, that's one. The other part is the FOMC that occurred recently. And those primary factors were influencing the movement of these forex pairs. So now, when I looked at this morning, when I looked at this with a fresh account here, fresh account. So when I looked here, I'm looking at the left side, and these has been a reliable type of trades with small variations based on how it immediately behaves, but generally speaking, it behaves very nicely. And these are very, very simple trades. So what I do is I look to the left side here. I can see that this has been established. This is proven. This is how professionals trade. The results will be different based on the market conditions. So I look here. These are the left sides here. I see that. And so I saw this price dropping to this point. It looks menacing to see this red candles going right past the support area. So what I did was I took a trade once I saw this reversal formation here, and then I wrote it up, and then so essentially I took two trades. One at about here, took a little bit of profit here, and then I took another trade, as I saw a higher high here breaching this immediate resistance here, and I wrote it up for a $20 gain right there. Okay, so I took profit right here. That essentially is a range bound trade. Okay, it's essentially a range bound trade breaking out of that resistance. Okay, breaking out of that resistance and launching off as a support. So that's trade number one. Now here's another trade that I saw here, and I took advantage of. Okay, so earlier before this on a previous account, what I attempted to do was um, essentially what I attempted to do was go short here, and then this reversed off of that support area. Okay, and then I lost about a $50, and then when I went long, it reversed, and then it took another 20 bucks. And so that breached that account. Okay, so that is a sequence of trades that I made, um, just being totally confused in what I should be uh, placing the primary focus on, which is obviously, look at this. Now that I look at it, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Essentially, this has been sitting in a range-bound situation with supports in this area. And so what I should have been looking for is support, okay, based on a range-bound condition. And what I should have been looking for is in this region of support, I should be looking to go long from here, expecting the conditions to repeat, okay? 80% of the time, it's going to maintain its current trend, which essentially is to maintain its range-bound trend, okay? So that's so then what I did was I took a trade. Let's see. So I switched to EU, okay? That's how okay, then I come over here and I saw this. I took multiple trades here. I saw this momentum to the downtrend, and it blew past this support here, okay? It blew past this support, and then it hit this support, but before then I shorted. I made a few bucks here and it recovered here, but I closed it out before it completely reversed. So that was this trade right here. See that? That's a loss. And so what I should have been looking for again on here is that it's coming off of a 2-day run up on a NASDAQ. So it's up here. And so any dip here is going to be met with more buying. And so here, I should have been looking for a long position, as is true here. So when I look at this situation, this right there is a resistance. And so what I should be looking for is essentially a long position here, okay? Because this has been in a uptrend right here. So those are the two types of trades that I am primarily focused on, playing off of, and the idea is not to hit a home run here. What I'm attempting to do is go from the support area to the resistance area or the immediate areas near it in order to take in order to take a profit between reasonable conditions instead of looking for extreme conditions for extended moves. Extended moves will happen, but it doesn't happen all the time. So if I'm always looking for that extended move, the trades that I'm taking before that extended move occurs is going to turn into a loss. So that's the condition here. So those are the two types of trades that I'm currently taking, and that has been effective. Okay, so what I need to keep in mind is that when it's trending, and I want to, so there's two types that I'm primarily focused on, okay, which in my mind, doing some back testing on those conditions, reflecting on the trades that I made, the success comes from those two types of trades. Range-bound situations where I'm looking to launch after that support, okay? Or the other trade is when that resistance is broken and then it holds its gain, and then it's looking to launch off into the next resistance area. Those are the two types of trades that I need to keep. And this is returning back to what I did last week. Okay. And this week clearly stated that being lazy and trying to get my thinking and projecting into the market can have devastating consequences. Okay. So if I look here, see just like this here, this is clearly in a downtrend. It has been in a downtrend. I tried 100 times to go long based on little green candles, but this is clearly in a downtrend. Has been proven to be a downtrend. Okay, so the formula, let's recap. I want to be as redundant as possible. I want to be, I want to make it as redundant as possible. Okay? A lot of the golfers, when they go into the practice tee, they tee off like 1,000 times, the same thing, the mundane thing, over and over and over again, until it becomes second nature. And so that's what I need to do as well. Okay. So if I look here, what I'm constantly looking for, is that trade that is essentially bouncing off that support. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. And if it breaks that support, then I'm looking for a breakout to occur from that support, that newly minted resistance. Okay, so essentially it's a break and retest kind of a. That's what I'm immediately looking for. If I'm immediately looking for a breakout, that's what happens right here. Okay, right there. You see that? It breaks out, pulls right back. That is definitely a loss right there. Okay. So I'm looking at this. So now I'm looking for my next setup, and also what I've how I have been successful last week is to go for 2% per day. Okay, I was trying to when I'm going for like a home run, that 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 can overextend the level of intensity that I have for that day, and so it'll create a significant amount of stress in the mental capital, as well as the. I mean, it's not easy to sit through this trading for hours and hours and hours. So the target that I have essentially, which have been proven in the past, which has been proven today as well, just recently, is to go for those single bases that adds up to approximately about 2% per day. Okay. So if I look at this, it's breaking out here. It has proven here on this trade, on this NASDAQ trade, it is now launching off of this support. So if I go long here, this is a good trade right there, right here. So if I go long here, let's prove it out. See that right there. So chances are this is going to turn into a green trade. Okay. See, it's a green trade. It's working. See, even the Dow is moving up. You see that? See, that's a proven strategy right here. That's an effective strategy right there. It breaks out, buys here, it goes up. That right there. And if I were to put like a stop loss, that's where the stop loss would be. Approximately there. If I'm looking for a $4 loss, let's see if I can make about $4 gains here. Okay. Now this is only a 5K trading account. It's going to be completely different once I get into bigger accounts. It's stalling a little bit. Okay, so I'll take that. Okay, so that's essentially like a one-to-one trade. All right. So it's still going up, but that's a good. So essentially, what I did is I took profit from here to here based on. See, these are the two trades that occurs all the time, and it repeats and over again. So it's like using a. So it's essentially like using a ATM machine with a combination that repeats because the combination is the same, and I use the same combination to access the ATM, and these two trades happen all the time, and I can use it over and over and over. The difficult part is the day-to-day changes that I experience, that I inject into the market, that changes the results. Okay, that's what's happening from one week to another week. What is constant, despite the fact that the market is dynamic? The market is dynamic, all right, but it is consistently dynamic. Whereas I go through the exposure of the mind being altered through interactions with the external environment that changes the perspective of the rules that I've set for myself from week to week. And so the mind forgets to trade right. Because if I make a significant amount of gain, what I attempt to do is protect that gain. And so it alters the strategy that I have instead of sticking to it. Okay, so if I look here, see that it wow, look at the way that it's moving. Okay. Look at this is moving here. Now it reached the point of resistance. It almost broke through. So this seems to be also in a state of range-bound situation for EU. Okay. So see it dropped here. It came back up. Um, so this is a 1 minute candle, which essentially means approximately about 30 minutes. Within a span of 30 minutes, it went from the high to a low to a high right there. Okay, and so that means whatever the macroeconomic news is out there, uh, generally speaking, it wants to maintain its range-bound condition. And so if I were to short here, that would be a great idea right there. Okay, because what it will tend to do is immediately from here, it's going to drop to this point here where the support is, intermediate support. It's going to take greater amount of force from this point to down here where the other next resistance is, next support is right here. See that? So let's see if whether this is going to break through this trend that has been established right here. Okay. Now the vision that I have is essentially is whether something is in a range bound situation. Is it in a range bound situation? Okay, I'm looking through here. It's clearly established with UJ as well. See, look at that. Look at the UJ range bound. Okay, look at that. That's range bound as well. See. So the Nasdaq looks like it is experiencing something called exhaustion. It's been going up for the past few days, and it looks like whatever the stimulation that was impacting it is being exhausted at this point. So that could be the same here, right here. So I'm waiting for this to play out. So if I look here, it's going to behave very similar to this right here. It's going to do that. And then eventually what it's going to do is it's going to go towards the other side. So currently I have about 0.75, it's 1.5% gain so far. So this is a perfect trading session. Okay, this is a perfect trading session where it's incorporating the right. It's incorporating. It's incorporating the right strategy. Okay. See, the mind has a very interesting way of creating reality. Okay, so the mind, left to its own vice, will create its own reality, and therefore it must. So there's a saying that people live in their own uh, in a bubble, right? And so when you take that bubble and you try to do something in the market, that bubble is going to cause. That's what 95% of people do. And so what needs to occur is that I have to be in a condition where I'm taking real data from the market and processing it to fit into the strategy that I have, instead of me taking what I perceive in my own mind, not accurately representing the data, and trying to make a trade based on my own thinking. And that's when all these losses occur, right here. Okay. So the conclusion that I have concerning the EU at this stage right here is playing out. See that? This is resistance, and it's hitting that resistance here. Chances are it's going to be exhausted temporarily, and it's going to bounce right back down. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, the same thing is happening with UJ here, and UC has been going down for, look. I mean, it's been down. Look at that. Look at that. It's been straight down. Look at that. It's a bargain. It becomes uh, it becomes a bigger bargain each and every day as it keeps going down, right? So this is the Dow right here. Look at the 1 minute. Now AU is showing some favorable condition. You see that? So immediately when I see this, I'm looking at bouncing. This is bouncing off of support right there. It's edging up, and then it is showing a tendency to move towards the resistance right there. See that? And so the move here to here is likely. Okay, move here to here is likely. So I'd say that if it reaches here and it goes above, uh, there would be a tendency from here to move up to here. That would be the second leg of the move. The first leg of the move will be from here to here, and then from here to here will be the second move, if it moves that way. If. So now it looks like price action has slowed down considerably. You see how the peak to peak is lower, and it is adding lots of more minutes compared to the action that was seen here. Okay, the volatility follows a major transition between one time zone to another time zone, and currently it's 10 o'clock, and therefore the price is stabilizing. The volatility has diminished. Here. Okay. Okay, what I need to do is I need to record that. I need to record this so I can remind myself. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to trade this way.